So one of the funnest recipes I've done in a while, an air fried Jugoso Lucia. And I've had some really great success with a lot of the cheeses, some of them not. I'm going to tell you which ones work better than the others. I'm going to tell you the amount of hamburger you need versus the amount of cheese you need in the middle, and how to seal them up real well so they don't blow out the sides. I think I got that pretty much figured out. I've also got something we're going to do for the first time. I haven't even tried it. Came up with it today or yesterday in between. And that is Oaxaca cheese and some jalapenos that we're going to do. And I'm going to call it my Jugoso Lucia, which is Spanish for Juicy Lucy. But anyhow, we're about to get it started. Now, what I'm going to do is kind of the way I've done a few of my videos recently, which is just kind of drop you into some of my test recipes so you can see exactly what to expect. And then I'll kind of come back and show you how I make things like this right here work in the Jugoso Lucia. Let's get it started. I have this right here, the creamy melt triple cheddar in there, and then I put them back in the refrigerator, but I got some sweet heat jalapenos. You could use any kind of jalapenos you had. So I'm just going to cut it all the way through because of those jalapenos. But there you go. Now that is a really good looking hamburger. You can imagine eating that with a sweet heat. Now I'll compare it to the other one I cooked tonight, which was the American cheese. Well, you can see the American cheese, it ran completely out. It just gets a little too liquefied. It won't stay in there. Well, you can see this one right here did. I mean, I could probably squeeze it out of there, don't get me wrong, but it's nothing like that. Now there's those jalapenos, and I can't wait to try them right now. Man, that is worth doing. I've got a way I want to show you of how to make it a mozzarella. And this is stringy cheese. It works really, really well. It's by far, it might be my favorite. Not by far.
Hey!
What? Who is that? Somebody's outside?
Hey! Yeah,
it's
me.
It's John.
Hey, listen, I've been watching from over here inside this tablet for about, I don't know, 3 or 4 years now, and I noticed Jelly never asked for anyone to subscribe or click any bells or share or anything, usually. But if you just click the thumbs up, it means a lot. It means a lot more than even Jelly knows, because he don't ask for it enough. So if you don't mind and you're enjoying the video and you think it's good and you're getting something from it, thumbs up. It's in the left-hand corner. It looks like this. When you touch it, it'll turn white, and that means you have liked my video, or Jelly's video. Thank you, and Jelly, you can go ahead with the video now.
Well, thank you, John. And as I was saying, it does mean a lot, y'all. If you'll hit like, I'd appreciate it. It's kind of gimmicky, but I appreciate it. Look, I'm fixing to show you what to do with this right here to make it a disc, and it's really easy to do. We're going to use that glass, and I'll show you whatever else I think you need to know. You know, hold on, be right back. Okay, so as promised, this is what I'm using. This right here, this, be honest with you, worked better, and I'll say it now. I tried this cheese, this mozzarella, and I can't be sure you can see what I'm showing, but that mozzarella, and I tried the Baby Bells. Now, these were both easier to, press down to fit in the hamburger, but they just didn't have the flavor that this has. This has a better flavor, if you ask me, and it is string cheese, so that means a bunch too. But what you do is you put that out just like that. Now these are everything I've been using is room temperature. I leave it out. I cut it in half, but like I said, I leave it out and let it come to room temperature. It's not out of the refrigerator. All you do is you set it down like this right here, and then you kind of help it stay lined up, and then you press it just like that. And then you peel it off. You may have to form it a little bit. Same thing again, because I use both sides. I use the whole stick, which is 1 ounce, and I've been weighing it when I'm using this kind of stuff. That I weigh 1 ounce is my point. I use 1 ounce of cheese, And there you go. I take that right there and I do this right here. Now, that right there is the exact perfect amount, if you ask me, for making a Jugoso Lucia with mozzarella. And then I use, well, I'll show you this in a minute, but I use 7 ounces of 80-20 that I make 2 patties out of, but I'll go over that in a minute. Be back. Okay, here is what I use in hamburger, and it's about 7 to 7.5 ounces. And I'm just going to kind of guess it, see how close I get right now. There's 7.1. That wasn't bad. 7.2, and I'm probably going to overshoot it a little bit here, but there we go. Yeah, I thought I would. That's close enough. At 7.8, we're going with a 7.8 patty, or actually 2 patties. So what I'm going to do is do this right here. Just kind of work it in a little bit and then break it in half, right down the middle, best I can get. There's 3/8, so I'll take that. Now, I'm going to press this out like this. Now, I'm going to set this to the side because I got to do that with both of them. And I got the camera a little close, so anyhow. Now we got to open up the Oaxaca cheese and get 1 ounce of that out. 1 ounce of that out. So that's what I'm about to do. I'm going to kind of get my act together and do that. I got to wipe my hands off. All right, that didn't take long, but here we go. We're going to open this cheese up just like that. This cheese I haven't used for this yet, so we are learning together. But like I said, this came to me doing it, honestly, doing this recipe, and I thought it was a good idea. And I like the jalapenos in the one I did before. So we need 1 ounce. You can see we got 0. I hope you can see that. 1.2. That's really probably close enough. Well, I had it straight on 1 when I pulled that out of there. We're going to go with 1 ounce, just so you can see exactly what 1 ounce is, and you don't have to go this far. There's my point. You know, that you see what the mozzarella looked like. You're just making something about like about like a silver dollar, if you would, you know. So and I haven't worked this cheese before, so it's a little bit different to me, but I'm going to make it work, and all I'm going to do is make something about that size. So I'm going to do that, and well, I tell you what, we're probably close enough right now. This is not that big a deal. We're making a cheese disc. Now we'll just put it right here where you can see it because I got the camera there. I'm going to set that right there. And this part right here, well, I'll put it like this. I think this, now you don't need thick points. You want to make sure it's even round. But I think this part right here, which is 2 patties that are relatively the same size, and putting them like this right here with that amount of cheese in there, and then you do work the edges real well. And then you kind of squeeze them together, and then you do this. Now, I think between this and the fact that you're using an air fryer, because in a skillet and on a grill, everybody tends to press them with anything. Well, you don't in an air fryer. I've cooked a mini hamburger that you never touch. I think that's one of the reasons that makes them so good. An air fryer is the way, but I'm going to get off of that. You've heard me before. An air fryer is one of the best devices you'll ever cook a hamburger, a steak, or anything in. So, right there is our patty with our cheese inside. Now, I don't put salt or anything on it, and I'm going to get everything kind of straightened up here, and we're going to get this started cooking. Be back. Okay, so I kind of jockeyed the air fryer around so you can see these numbers better to get this reflection off of it. But we're going to do this kind of a preliminary test of the Jugoso Lucia, which it doesn't have jalapenos yet. So, and I didn't want to put them in there to do a test with the Oaxaca cheese because I think the Oaxaca cheese may be better than the mozzarella. So I want to see how it did by itself, and we're going to do that. So what we're going to do, I'm going to start this up at my normal numbers for one burger, which is 360 degrees for 15 minutes. But right now, what we're going to do is preheat this unit. Okay, that was about 2 minutes and 30 seconds if you care for this particular unit to preheat. I'm going to set it in that back corner. You can hear it sizzling. Get it back started. I will say it doesn't normally take 15 minutes, and you could speed it. Well, a lot of people cook theirs at higher temps. I found it works better for me at 360, and you'll see what it looks like in just a second. So when that's getting close, we're going to take temps and see how it looks. Be back. Okay, so somewhere around the middle, we're going to take a look at it, but mainly all we're doing is going to flip it right there. That was a little warm, but we're going to get it right back in and back to going. So we'll do temp checks in a minute. Okay, so that's been 12 minutes and it's probably not ready, but we're going to take a look at it just because I can. And you can see it looks really good. Let's get an idea. 120, 115. I know that's not enough. So right back in. Again, the beauty of an air fryer and an instant read thermometer. But there you go. Be back. Okay, so another thing good about these is you can add time. So before it runs out, I'm going to open it up. You can see our cheese coming out a little bit. And we don't need to add time. I'll take that. I saw, the lowest number I saw was 130. Take my word, it's going to make the number I want just resting. And while it rests, it will, the cheese will kind of settle back in. And you can see it didn't blow out. Everything looks good. We're going to take it off that heat, put it right there, and I'm going to cancel that, and we're going to let it go. Let it rest for a few minutes, and I will be back. All right, I wanted to show this right quick, and that hamburger's been sitting there maybe 3 minutes. That's how long it took me to clean this, and if you watch the end of the video, you'll see exactly what method I use, which involves these right here. I'm trying to find the arrows right there. Now, this is ready to go again. That's kind of my point, and it's a real good thing to know. I promise you it is. And it's got to do with cooking with air fryers and what I think is worth knowing. We're going to open this up. This is the Oaxaca cheese, similar to the mozzarella string cheese. I'm just going to give it a little help like I did in the others. And we're going to see what it looks like. And that, my friend, is a hamburger. That is excellent. And I'm gonna get right in front of the camera with my cheese strung everywhere. You see it. And that is a perfectly cooked hamburger. And I can't even get that cheese to break. So the Oaxaca is good cheese. There's no doubt. Just wait till I put jalapeños and stuff in there. So that's what we're about to do. But anyhow, in fact, you know what? Just because I should, I'm going to drop some salt on it. In fact, we'll do this salt. And I'm going to take a bite of it just so somebody say, you didn't even taste it. Now, I get that a lot. Take my word. I don't have to taste that. I know what it's going to be. It's going to be really good. And it is. So, going to get my Jugoso Lucia ready, and we're going to cook it. Be back. Okay, a little bit of explanation. I had these sitting out, and I'll be honest with you, anyhow, what I'm saying is these are softer than I like. In fact, they kind of come apart when I take them out of the jar. So I'm just making that explanation so you'll understand why I switched to the Mount Olive I had in my cabinet. They seem to be a little more sturdy, and I think that matters, you know, in this recipe. You can see I've already got the Oaxaca cheese ready. I've got the patties ready. I'm just going to do this right here. I'm going to put those right there, and then I'm going to pick out a couple of these. I dried them off a little bit. I didn't want a lot of liquid. I don't know that would hurt, but I can't imagine it helping. But I wanted a little firmer than those. No big deal. They may have turned out better, but doesn't matter. I switched them to that. Now, same thing. You just kind of make sure the edges press in. And look, see if I was in the camera. Just make sure you press it around. Kind of see how I'm doing with my thumbs, and that seems to have worked better than anything. And then take your thumb and press it, kind of compress those edges a little bit. And then, if you ask me, we're ready. Now, we'll see. I mean, I haven't had any issues using an air fryer. Now, I have in skillets and stuff like that, but an air fryer, you're not messing with it, like I said. So, I'm going to preheat it again, and you don't need to see all that. I'm going to get it preheated, and see you in a minute. In goes, you can hear that sizzle, and in goes a hamburger. It goes back to counting. I did look for the date on this jar. I couldn't find it, but it could be that those are old and my fault, but they're just a little mushy, and I didn't want to use them, so now you know. And all right, we're at 8 minutes. I'm going to do the flippy thing right quick onto a fresh part of the grill. Back in. All right, we're going to do the same thing with the Jugoso Lucia. We're going to see what we are right here, 133. That's a little low. Maybe the jalapenos got something to do with it. I thought I could add a minute like that, and I might not. Oh, that's right, I got to press this. And we're going to add 2 minutes. Maybe it's a little thicker burger. Maybe a lot of things. That's why these are very important. So, be back. And we are about to pull it out and let it rest just like we did the other. We'll even check the temp right quick just to make sure. We did get a little cheese out of the side, but 134. That's spot on. I'll take it, in other words. And that's the first time I've had cheese blowout. Now, it is kind of crowded in there, I'm imagining, with those jalapenos and all. But we're going to let it rest a minute. I'll be back. Okay, so I did want to say that during those 3 minutes or so that rested is when I cleaned that. It's a big deal, and you're going to see it in a minute if you hang on to the video. Here comes the Jugoso Lucia, and that's what it looks like right there. Jalapenos and Oaxaca cheese, and that looks excellent. And it's still very hot, but I'm gonna cut it like this again, and then we'll stretch out some cheese because that Oaxaca does stretch real well. Now that's still so hot it hasn't even set. Maybe you should let it go more than 2 or 3 minutes, but you can see it's got plenty of stringiness to it. And I'm gonna take a bite right on that jalapeno, and it works. That should be a restaurant item. If I had a restaurant, it'd be on my menu. Anyhow, I'm going to kind of put together a lot of things that went on at the end of this video. Pretty much, I'll try and show where I did this and how it acted when I cut it open and things like that. But anyhow, don't forget what John said. Thumbs up if you can. I do appreciate it, y'all. And although there'll be more video after what I'm about to say, but love y'all. Come back to see me. Bye-bye. Okay, I'm not sure I'll air this, but I thought I'd video it. I poured this into my garbage can over some paper towels and all because I don't put it, as I said, in my sink. But I've also got paper towels here. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to get pretty much the majority of the grease off of it. Then I'm going to let it cool down a little bit, and I'm going to drop it into my sink. Now you can see I'm holding it by that. It's just a little risky, and there's a lot of ways of doing it. I could have 2 paper towels and kind of wipe that off, but that's probably not as good as it could get, but that'll do. Next thing is this right here. I'm going to wipe this out. I just cooked that hamburger in here, and this is the second hamburger I've cooked tonight. And this is the same thing I did the first time, and I'm done. I mean, literally, I could have probably done that with that plate. But right there, it's over. I mean, air fryers will change the way you cook a lot of things, including hamburgers. Okay, so it's been out for maybe 2 minutes, and I got around 138 a while ago for my lowest temp. So we're going to open it up. That's what it looks like. Now, again, this is the Sargento string cheese. I'm going to give it a little bit of help with that knife, and then try and make it open up. Now, like I said, this ain't how you would do it if you were eating in a hamburger, but that is what I'm looking for. And so far, it is by far the best out of the three. So, there you go. That's the test recipe. Okay, so I'm in the middle of some of my tests, and I wanted to show you the American or the Kraft singles, and that I kind of got ready. This is what it looks like. It's been resting for maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes. I'm going to make sure you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to kind of give it a little bit of help right here because I don't want to just break it. But there is the American cheese, and you can see what it looks like. I'll put it, that's 138 degrees, which is what I shoot for on all of them, and maybe I should have had a few more lights on. Hold on, I'll turn on a couple more. Right there is how that looks, and that's the American cheese. It does get a little loose, or the Kraft singles, but I assure you it's going to be good. But I'm fixing to eat it. I wanted you to see it. Now, there you go. You know what? Time, although that's been in there 15 minutes, time has nothing to do with it. I harp on this a lot. Your thermometer is what matters. You go by that. And it means good food, bad food, dangerous food, safe food. But anyhow, we're going to see what it is. We pull it right now, and the hamburger would be what I want, which is 138. Now, they recommend 165. I don't do that. That doesn't mean you shouldn't.